Everybody, welcome to the Ronline Report. You know this young guy very, very well. Joining us right now from Flex Lewis's The Dragon's Lair Gym in Las Vegas, Nevada. Please welcome the Martian, Martin Fitzwater. What's up, Martin?
What's up, guys? Happy to be back. So excited to be back.
This is a sneak. You're pulling a sneak attack. I love it. I thought you were all done. So Texas Pro was your pro debut. What date was that? That was in August, September? I can't remember.
I think it was like August 14th.
Okay, so middle August. I figured, okay, great debut. You placed fourth behind Ian Valier, Steve Kuklo, and Phil Klehar, who were very, very close at that show. I think it could have been, you could have juggled them almost any which way, and not too many people have been upset. So you did very, very well. All I wanted to see out of you there was a little bit better condition because size, shape, structure. Wow, very, very impressive debut. I want to know, when that show was over, were you planning on wrapping it up for the year, or were you already thinking maybe I'll do one of these post Olympia shows?
No, so right coming out of Texas, man, it was for sure wrap things up. Go back, reevaluate, put on a little bit more tissue. Like you said, I knew I needed to be in better condition.
Yeah.
But you know how us bodybuilders are. We get done with a prep and then we start taking care of our health. And sometimes we're not always as good about it during prep. So, as soon as I got done with prep, I really got on top of that, and I got my blood work done. And within 3 weeks, it had come back really good. Everything had just started clicking, and my body was just responding better than ever. I had a lot of stress going into Texas, just with life and stuff that was going on. And I think that because of that, my cortisol and things like that elevated, and it really just kind of set me back, I feel like. And so because of that, once the stress of not having a show and not having this pressure of coaching myself for my debut and stuff kind of was let off my shoulders, and I lived up to the standard, I guess, that people were thinking.
Yeah.
I think it just kind of let a lot off of, let me take a breath and be able to step back. And so I had my health markers completely in check within 6 weeks. They were completely perfect. And I was like, well, I either rebound and see how much tissue I can put on, or I maybe shoot at a show. And I really liked my conditioning. And honest to God, I hated how I put myself on stage at Texas. I know that a lot of people were proud of me and what I did, but I know that I can be in a lot better shape than that. I've been in a lot better shape than that many times. And like I said, it was more of a disappointment to myself. So I kind of had peaked at this, and I'd said, well, we'll just play with stuff and see. I'll just kind of keep, like I said, I coach myself. So I'll just kind of keep it to myself, and just kind of run things and see how they go. And like everything had just been right on the money. Things are coming together. I knew I was going to be traveling a lot. So it was like, okay, I still have to go to the Olympia. I have obligations. If I'm going to do this, the Olympia is kind of the make or break moment. If I go out there and I can continue to progress my conditioning, continue to get better, I'll be fine if I get home. If it causes me so much stress and I'm on my feet so much that I get a pushback, then maybe I won't do it. Olympia went perfect to a T. I probably ended up dropping about 3 or 4 pounds over the 7 days I was out there, because I really just ended up treating it like a training camp. It was eat, sleep, train, do my obligations, and then get right back to it. So it was really nice. And it was a lot of fun that way, kind of keeping it a secret. So really it was like me, about 3 other people, and my camera kid that knew. I just kind of kept doing my thing. And then when we got home from the Olympia, I took pictures and I said, yep, I'm for sure going to sign up for this. I'm 10 pounds better than I was for Texas right now. I still think that I can make a lot of manipulations in the next couple of days to be even 3 or 4 pounds better than that, conditioning wise. So no matter what, I know that I will put a much more conditioned physique on stage, and that's something that I'll take pride in. But other than that, man, the secret was more about just keeping the pressure off and just having fun with bodybuilding, you know?
So, Legion's only 2 weeks. It's only a two-week gap between Olympia and that. I think, I'm not sure, but is that the only post-Olympia show in the USA? I think it might be.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir. So the next ones, I think we just had Italy, right? And then we have this one, and then there's for open, I think it's Romania,
Prague.
Prague.
And is there one like in Korea or Japan or something? Maybe.
I think there's one more somewhere, and I
want to say Spain. I think there's another show in Spain.
Okay.
I could be wrong.
Somewhere in Europe, though. I'm very. And so that would be really cool. And then that Brazil show they just announced, is it going to have open?
Don't know. I'm not sure.
But yeah, so in America, this is the only one.
Okay.
And I probably wouldn't have traveled or even thought about doing a show if it wasn't for this one being here in Reno. It's an easy travel, easy trip. I really enjoy Vegas, so I came out here on Friday.
Yeah.
And so I've been out here for the past couple of days. We've been filming every day, vlogging on our YouTube. And it's just been, again, like a training camp where I can just kind of take myself away from any situation that's at home, any real life stuff, and really just live as a bodybuilder. I can still do all my work. I'm just an online coach for the most part, and then my companies. So I have all that, and really I can just travel and have fun. My camera kid, he took a semester off of school.
Wow.
He's very, very talented young man. He's going to be a Navy SEAL someday.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
So we run around and we push each other to be better. We've been, like 2 weeks before the Olympia, we were training with Ian down in Florida. Then we go to the Olympia. And then we come out here to Vegas, and we're headed to Reno. Then, who knows what's next. So it's just really, I honestly, I just live the dream, man. This has been so much fun.
Yeah, I don't know how you stayed perfectly on prep during that whole Olympia weekend and still were able to enjoy the expo and the show, everything. Because when you're in prep, man, it's like the meals have to be timed exact. If you're supposed to eat at 12 o'clock, you can't eat at 12:02. You know what I mean? So you had people coming at you, I'm sure, all weekend. Hey, Martin, blah, blah, I want to talk to you, want to take a picture. Was it tough to juggle all that and still stay 100% on the workouts, the cardio, and most importantly, the meals? That's what boggles my mind, how you stayed on your meals.
So I'm very, very privileged in the fact that, one, I have Zach, and he makes things a lot easier for me. So it's kind of like both of us tag team things. Unlike most camera guys, he's 100% bodybuilder. So he's on his meals all the time. We both cook at the same time. We get everything ready at the same time. It's a team effort. So that's one of the things that's made it a lot easier. Then also at the Olympia, I teamed up 2 weeks before the Olympia with MegaFit Meals.
There you go.
And so that was a huge factor for me out at the Olympia. I had them send me all my protein so that it was ready to go. I could just have it put in my containers, grab my containers, put them in my backpack, and run off to the expo. And even if I was gone all day, I had all my food. Everything was ready to go. As far as cardio and training and stuff like that, again, Zach woke up with me every morning. We went and did cardio together. He pushed the cardio session just as hard as I did, even though he's not in prep, just to be right there beside me and push me, and he, like I said, he wants to be a Navy SEAL. He has that Navy SEAL mentality. And we don't leave anybody behind. So it was really cool to have him here to help me push through, especially on those days, that I'm shaking hands for 5 hours at the expo, on my feet for 5 hours at the expo. It was really nice to have somebody there to, make sure I'm getting the extra reps, making sure I'm pushing through the training sessions. But other than that, the biggest thing for me is, like I've told you before on here, is I worked a real job. I worked construction for a long time before this.
Yeah.
And if I can complain about this job, then I'm absolutely silly, because I worked a real job that was real hard. And I did bodybuilding on the side for fun. Now I get to do bodybuilding as my job. I shouldn't have a complaint in the world, man. This is a dream come true.
Yeah. I mean, when that list came out and I saw your name on it, I'm like, what? You got to be kidding me. I was happy. I was happy to see your name there, but what a surprise. I mean, I honestly thought you're all done for the season. We'd probably see you back. If we're lucky, we'd see you maybe a late spring show or something next year. But man, this is going to be a really good show. We got yourself, we got Cedric McMillan, Sergio Oliva Jr., Regan Grimes jumping in, another great young guy, Sean Clarita, the 212 Olympia champ from last year, jumping in. What do you think? I got to get your opinion on that. What do you think about Sean jumping into I've always wanted one of these, like Flex Lewis. I wish he would have jumped in an open show here and there. But what do you think about Sean jumping in with you?
Oh man, honestly, I think that's incredible. I think that's bodybuilding, we go our whole lives watching amateur shows of the middleweight get compared to the heavyweight, get compared to the super heavyweight. Yeah. Why not throw down? I love that he's not scared of it. And there's no reason why he can't compare. He's a complete ball of muscle, is conditioned to the max. Structurally, depending on the lineup, really the size might not be that big of a factor, because he has really good shape, and there's a lot of great shape coming to this show. You got Patrick Moore coming in here too.
That's right.
And you also have Tonio, right? Is that how you say his name?
Tonio,
yeah. And he's from Nevada, and he's a 212 guy too. So, there's a lot of us shorter stature bodybuilders in this lineup. So I don't see why they won't compare very, very well. Also, I'm a huge fan of Sean. I think that it's awesome. I love bodybuilding through and through. And to see somebody like him just come back year after year, 2-3 pounds better every single time, that's bodybuilding to me. So to even be able to say that I get to share the stage with him is pretty cool. I'm very excited about that. Another person that I'm so excited to share the stage with is Sergio. We're like this. We've been best pals on Instagram for like 2-3 years. I've been a huge fan of Sergio for a long time. We both have that the space, the vibe. We love that. He loves his astronauts. I love my Martian thing. So it's always been a really fun. So I'm very, very excited to share the stage with Sergio. We've been messaging back and forth. But yeah, this lineup is completely stacked. In my opinion, this is going to be maybe the best lineup of the whole year that we've seen, as far as other outside of the Arnold and the Olympia.
Yeah, it's definitely the best post-Olympia lineup I think we're going to see, for sure. And I think the fact that it is stateside helped a lot, because it's not easy to go anywhere these days outside the US. It's not easy for them to get over here with all the restrictions and everything. So I think that helped out. Plus, Chris, I just put up a preview with him today. This won't air until later, of course, but Chris puts on. Have you ever been to one of the Legion shows before?
I have not. I've heard from many people that it was one of the best well-ran pro shows there is. So, that was another reason that I felt comfortable doing it, because you really do have to know the promoter and feel like you want to promote their show and help them grow their show too. That's why I was so attached to Freddie's show with the Texas Pro. Freddie's done so much for me and been a big part of my career. So I wanted to give back to them. And just hearing how Chris treats his athletes and stuff made it made it apparent to me that he feels the same way and loves bodybuilding just as much.
Yes. Have you seen the trophies?
Yes, I have. They're very,
they're awesome.
you know, me and my cartoon Martian, all that kind of stuff. I love superheroes, so that's another one that it made it that much cooler, you know.
Yeah, these bronze sculptures, superhero sculptures, they're about 2 feet, maybe taller. They look like they weigh about 50 pounds.
Yeah, they look awesome.
Dude, it's going to be, I hate to use that word dark horse because it gets overused so much, but you're my dark horse to win this thing. If you come in shredded, which I'm sure you're going to be so much leaner than you were at the Texas show. Leaner.
That was the only goal, man. I knew, I know I have decent shape. I know I have good poses. I definitely know I have weak points, but I know how to pose around them to hide them. And because of that, like I said, Texas proved to me that I can stand with these big boys. And the difference between standing with them and beating them is making sure that I'm shredded out of my mind. So that was the goal. I got the privilege of posing with Jay yesterday.
Oh, wow.
And he was very, very happy with my conditioning. He's brutally honest. So like he said, your legs are world class. Your chest and your back and your arms are still young. You're 24 years old. It shows through a little bit. But he said, if you just keep doing what you're doing, you're going to be hard to beat. But he said, I still think that you could be the dark horse in this show no matter what, so that was rewarding for me, and just another chip on the shoulder of kind of like, I got to make Jay proud. He's one that he's had my back since I was 21 years old. Actually, I met him here in Vegas, and he put me on the YouTube channel and has been a huge supporter of me. So for me to make him proud or prove him right would be one to check off the list, I guess.
So you almost moved to Texas because of GASP. You ended up moving to Colorado from Wyoming. What do you think about Vegas in the future? Maybe?
I love it out here. I'm going to end up in Dallas coming up here for GASP and everything. And Branch, I'm going to end up training with Branch a lot. But I just want to spend more time with the company in Dallas. But like I was telling these guys out here is I love Vegas and living here and bodybuilding here this is the new Mecca essentially from California. It's just kind of transferred just with everything that's happened. Yeah. But the thing about Vegas is it's so cheap to travel here and it's so cheap to stay here that it's better to live somewhere else, kind of create my own environment, and then kind of treat this again like a training camp, because it's cheap to come out here and stay for a week or 2 weeks. And then I think also it kind of leaves it as that nostalgic, cool, versus kind of taking that away, and it just makes it like when I come here, like, it's a privilege and I'm very excited, and I don't want that to be lost. So every time I come, we try to get on JTV and we try to do this and we try to do that. And I kind of like how that feels of like the busy go of coming to visit Vegas. And I don't know if I would want that to be my full-time life. Yeah. So
that makes sense.
I think it's one that I would like to spend a lot more time visiting out here, though. There's so many great bodybuilders here you can learn from and take wisdom from. Flex and Jay are both some of the best examples of what we can be as bodybuilders, as well as just people. So to be able to be out here and spend time with them is still something that I want to make a big part of my life.
Right on. So after this show, is that it? Is that it for the year? I mean, all these other shows are off in Europe and Asia and everywhere else. So what's the plan? Win, lose, or draw. This is it. Legion Sports Fest, October 24th, Sunday, and then go into an off-season mode and work on some things.
Yeah. Oh,
Someone's calling you.
yeah, sorry.
No worries.
Yeah, absolutely. So, this was a last second decision, like I said, but we knew that I was ready. But then absolutely, I know that I still need to improve. I know my chest and my arms need to come up. Like I said, I've figured out, Jay helped me yesterday, even with posing them to make them look even bigger and better. But overall, they just need to improve. So I know what I want to do going into the off season. Legions will be the last thing that we do. And then I'll shut it down, get health in check for Christmas. And then probably come my birthday time, right around the January 6th, we'll go and rebound and make sure that we put on the 5 to 7 to 10 pounds that we need to be really, really competitive with these guys that are just a little bit bigger than I am.
Now, I think a cool thing, you might disagree. I think it'd be cool if you and Brett came back in 2022 at the same show, your training partner.
That could be very interesting. So I know his plan, or at least his idea for right now, nothing is set in stone, but we've talked about him doing the New York Pro.
Good show.
That's one that he wants on his list. That is not as much of a show that's not one of the ones I want to check off the list first, but I think eventually down the road, we will. And obviously, there will come a point in time where no matter what, we're both on the Olympia stage together. So
exactly,
that might have to be where it ends up. We'll see where the cards fall, especially after this weekend, hopefully. So
yeah, my prediction, next Olympia, you'll both be in it. I believe you will be both in that show. Yeah,
that's that means more to me than and I know Brett would say the same thing. I think both of us like being the dark horse, but we appreciate the guys that know that we're working hard and doing what we're supposed to be doing to be the next guys coming up.
Yeah, I mean, it's exciting to see people who just get better and better and better versus a lot of these established veterans. They've looked really good for a very long time, but once you get to a certain point, you'll get there years from now. You won't be getting any better, really. This is it, and that's it. When you're 24, we're talking probably 10 years from now. But it's cool to watch the younger guys really reinvigorating the sport, bringing new fans in. Guys like you and Nick Walker and Hunter and Regan and Bumstead. You're bringing all the young people into the sport, and we need that, man. We really need that.
Yes.
We need a lot of
fans. No, it's very exciting. And the craziest thing is how exciting open bodybuilding is again.
Yeah.
I know if you would have asked everybody 18 months ago to a year ago, it was classic was the thing to be. And now it's really the changing of the guards. People are super excited about these young new open guys that are getting after it. And it's really cool, man. It was really awesome to see Jay yesterday and how excited he is for open bodybuilding to be back and resurgent, and all these young guys in it like they were back in the early days,
Yeah, cool. Well, I know you're very busy with probably tanning and posing and all kinds of training. You're about to train too, aren't you, right now?
Yeah, we're gonna do a little pump session in here, just a real light one. I fly to Reno today, so not too much. I usually push off water when I fly. I'm like the opposite of everybody else. The only other person that's ever told me that was actually Jay. He said he did the same thing. So we're gonna fly, deplete today, and then I'll slowly start trickling in food tomorrow, and evaluate after every meal. Like we've talked about on here, I coach myself, so just kind of sit back and take the stress off and look at my pictures and enjoy Reno and get ready for Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to commend you one more time for being your own coach, because very, very rare these days, very rare that anybody feels confident enough in their own abilities, their own knowledge to do that. But, I think the proof is in the pudding. You look great at your debut, and Sunday, if you look spectacular, we'll know. He doesn't need a coach. He's good. He's all good.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No, we'll make sure of that on Sunday, that everybody knows we're just fine.
Right on. All right. Well, Martin Fitzwater, Thank you so much. Best of luck to you Sunday, the Legion Sports Fest. Guys, all the info for the show can be found at legionsportsfest.com. They have a pay-per-view. You can check that out. See how Martin does against the other big boys. It's going to be an awesome show. Yeah, go out there and kill it, Martian. We're rooting for you.
Awesome, man. So much. I appreciate you very much.
All right, everybody. Thanks for watching Ronline Report. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff, and we'll see you next time.